everyone, it's Melody with Design by Melody. I'm here with the third layout that I am making using the February kit that I am reviewing for this year, and this is the Scrapbooking store kit. And if you missed my unboxing, please go down in the description box below. You'll see the links to all the videos associated with this kit, including the unboxing, as well as a link to my resource guide, which gives you all the details of this particular kit, as well as all of the kits that all of the other kits that I've actually reviewed as well. So a couple weeks ago in my comment section, I had been asked a question about how I do the ending pages of my Project Life albums or my scrapbooking albums, because I mix all of my layouts and my Project Life pages together. But I had shared a few title pages, but I hadn't shared a ending page in quite a while. So I decided, hey, why not go ahead and let's just use this kit and create an ending page as well. And it's very, very similar to how I create my title pages. As you can see, I've cut one single pattern paper into the pockets, or into pieces that'll fit into my pockets, and then I'm just going to embellish, and I do it very, very similarly to how I do my title page. I usually do a couple embellishments at the top, a couple embellishments at the bottom. I decorate kind of simply, not overly so, and then I have some sort of title. So I'm actually going to use these LE Studio beautiful alphas that I am like in love with now, and I'm going to put the word life documented. Now I have to adapt a few things. I have to make an extra E, and then I have to also make an N. So I end up taking a V, flipping it over and making an N out of it, as well as taking an F and making it into an E. So I just had to adapt a few things just to make it so I had the proper amount of letters, but it's actually fairly easy to do if you have a white paint pen. Now I ended up using the like jelly roll pen that I have, but if you actually have an opaque white paint pen, it actually works a little bit better. So I'm just going to go ahead and start decorating, and since this is this kit has a lot of colors, or a lot of elements that really are indicative of like home life and things like that, I went ahead and decided to create a little bit of a living room scene down here at the bottom. This is where I decided to pull out my paint pen and use that instead. It just makes it a lot nicer looking whenever you're actually reading the white. It really makes the white kind of match the printing on those alphas. Now these alphas are amazing. I really, really love them. And I'm definitely going to be purchasing more. There's no doubt about that. That's these LE Studio tile alphas. This is where I'm trying to figure out, okay, if I do a V, does it make it look like an N? And then I end up having to flip it over and kind of working through it to make sure that it looks right. And it's a little bit of a slanted looking N, but it works. It reads properly. The only reason you're going to be able to tell is if you're really looking for that N, and then you'll go, huh, it looks a little odd, but it works. It's an N, and you can read it. So I'm just using this Project Life card it has grid lines on it, and so I'm just using it to kind of line up my title here, and it's just going to be life documented, and I'm going to pull out a few alphas here, not alphas, numeric stamps. So I had to go through my stash and kind of look for different stamps that I thought would work, and I end up actually settling on a Studio Calico Days of the Week stamp set. I try using the 7 Gypsies one here, but because there's a lot of different options for numbers, a lot of different fonts, a lot of different sizes, but it had a little bit more of a distressed look to it. It wasn't a solid numeric stamp. So I end up trying a few different things. I ended up putting it all back, and then that's when I actually pull out the Studio Calico Days of the Week one instead. And as you can see, I've got the 7 stamped here because it's going to say 2017 life documented, but it just doesn't, I just don't end up liking it. So I go ahead and move my L from my life over to cover that up, and then I actually just move the rest of the word over as well, just to make it more centered. And then I'll use the same Memento Tuxedo black ink here to actually try a little bit of something different. I tried stamping it on a color, and then I thought about putting it, like cutting it out and putting it on top of the, like on top of that little grid card that I had created, but I don't like the way that that looks either. I just try a couple different things. I never know exactly what I'm going to do whenever I start scrapbooking, but it all kind of comes together in the end. Thought about doing that, but I don't like the way that that looks, and that's when I just decided to go ahead and move my word life over. Let's just cover that up and keep on going. It's not like I don't have a million other grid Project Life cards that I could have totally redone this, but it ends up turning out really nicely, and I like what I do instead. So I'm using these little, and you can barely see them at the bottom of the screen, but it's just a little like 2x3 stamp set, and it's got numbers on it. And so I just stamped out 2017, and then it has the words life documented under that. So that's going to be kind of my title, and I'm going to put it a little bit askew here at the top and use that clothespin like it's clipped to the top of this paper. And I really like the way that that looks. I also had this typewriter. I thought the typewriter was kind of a nice touch to it because it's almost like I'm using the typewriter to document our lives. And so I thought it was really kind of a nice touch. And then I did use a couple of those buttons at the top. I have a really difficult time using buttons. I don't know why, but I do struggle with buttons. So since there are a lot of buttons in this kit, I've been trying to kind of incorporate them here and there, just to kind of see how I can incorporate it without making it necessarily forced. I don't want to end up with this kit almost done and have 20 button stickers left, which there are not that many in this collection, but you get what I mean. Like, I don't want to end up with all of them left at the end. I'm kind of trying to incorporate them throughout, and I think it really kind of fits well. It also kind of fits well in with the color of this whole layout. It's got a very I don't know, it's got a very like warm feel to it. I think it's the yellow. And so the buttons, and then it's got a very homey feel to it, obviously, because you've got like a couch and some houseplants and things like that at the bottom. And so I think the buttons just kind of fit into it. It's kind of vintage looking feeling to me with the buttons. And I think that's kind of more of a retro style couch. And so it just kind of fits well to me. So I did use a navy word sticker at the bottom that says "Our House." And then as you can see, I used the little house plants, and I used a piece of just scrap paper with the dots on it at the bottom, as well as a navy piece of scrap paper right under the edge of that typewriter at the top. Now I have my journaling, and all it says is, "And that completes 2017, just a glimpse of our lives and how we've changed this year. So much fun and so much more to come." Now I wanted to mount that on something, or mat that on something, because it just kind of I felt like it got lost on the yellow background, and I wanted this navy blue, but I didn't have a solid piece. So I did find that if I layered it on top of this 4x4 cut apart sheet, I could cut it out without actually seeing any of the words, and that works really, really well to have that navy brought down here to the bottom. I've got it on that art house sticker, the life documented at the top, and then kind of this in that little strip of paper under the typewriter, and then I've also got it down here on this journaling piece. And then I'm going to layer some buttons up around that just to kind of give it to where it doesn't look like it's floating. Not like the buttons aren't floating, but it just seems to give it a little bit more substance down here at the bottom. And it's, again, another way for me to be able to use some of these buttons. Now I've gotten a little like birthday rub-ons here, and I'm still working on different ways to use them since I'm not actually doing any birthday layouts. And I take out this happy, and so basically it just says like happy, and then it also says our house, and then there's a home sweet home sticker as well. So this is going to pretty much finish out this ending page. I hope this gives you a good idea of how I do my ending pages. Again, it's very, very similar to my title pages. It's just more of kind of a conclusion style of wording, but that's about it. And I'm just going to add this one single puffy sticker up here at the top, this bow, and then that completes it. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you guys have enjoyed this, and please let me know if you have any questions whatsoever. All right, guys, bye.